So on this slide, you have the English system and the metric system, also the SI system. So the metric prefixes are commonly used with the SI units. You have the English units like miles, feet, inches, pound, all based on body parts, an older system, and the system international SI units that are typically used in conjunction with metric prefixes, like you can see kilo and meters. Meters are measurement of length, either in English or SI, you're measuring length in miles or length in meters. So kilo is the metric prefix, and this would be km. So the conversion between mile and kilometer, 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. So there's also here, you can see the centimeter. So this is cm. Centimeter is more on the scale of inches. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So there's units for measuring length. That's miles, foot, inch, kilometer, meter, centimeter. There's also for measuring mass. English units are pounds and ounces, are a couple of examples, and grams for measuring mass in the metric or SI system. This can also be associated with metric prefixes. For example, in lab, we often weigh small amounts or milligram amounts. Okay, and then this is gallons or liters for measuring volume. And this is equivalent 1 gallon equals 3.79 liters. Celsius and Kelvin are measurements of temperature. Those are temperature scales. We have degrees Celsius, degrees Fahrenheit, and degrees Kelvin. So the conversion down here, convert 5 centimeters to inches. When you are given a problem, what you want to do is then find a conversion factor that has both of those units. You have centimeters and inches in here. So I would look at a table like this. This would be in Appendix 1 in the back of your ebook or textbook. So I'm looking for centimeters and inches, and I think this one looks like a good candidate. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. It has both the centimeters and the inch in there. So take this number you're going to convert, 5 cm, put a fraction, and then decide what's going to go in the bottom or top using this this equivalence, this conversion factor. So on the bottom, I'm going to put 2.54 cm, and on the top, what that's equal to is 1 inch. Now, why did I choose the 2.54 cm? Changing my so that I could cancel the centimeters. So centimeters on top with centimeters on the bottom of this fraction. So that leaves the units which are inches. That's good because that's what I was trying to solve for. So going back to blue, when you have the units that you're trying to solve for, that checks out, and that means you can go to the calculator. Okay, so this is going to be 5 times 1 divided by 2.54, or just 5 divided by 2.54. So this is 1.968503937. And this is a long number from the calculator. You want to write out the entire long number, and we're going to talk in a few slides about rounding off a number. But right now you want to write down the full raw number. Okay, so let's use this same conversion factor. This time we want to convert 5 inches to centimeters. So the same conversion factor will apply because both the units, inches and centimeters, are in here. So this time we have 5 inches. So the number with the units are important to write. Fraction. So you can see that what you're trying to cancel out are inches. So this time I'm going to put 1 inch on the bottom. That's from this equality, and then 2.54 centimeters on the top. And so what I've got here is inches and inches will cancel out this time. The units that remain are centimeters. That's good because that's what I'm trying to solve for. So that means I can go to centimeters, write the units out there, and then go to the calculator once the units check out. So this is going to be 5 times 2.54, and that's 12.7 centimeters. So now, this is an example of using a conversion factor where you did not have to set it up. For metric prefixes, you had to set up those conversion factors. For when you're converting from the English system to the metric system, you don't have to set any of those up. Okay, so let's take a look at this, actually not this slide, but let's take a look at this worksheet. So this is not that one. Let's take a look at this worksheet. Conversions between units. So when you are converting from a number value that is a known value with its unit to a new unit, you're going to have a new number value. So this is an example where you are given this problem: a 5-kilometer road race is how many miles? So the number value in unit that you're given is 5 km. And they're asking you to convert to a new unit. How many miles? Okay, so we're going to look for a conversion factor with both of these units, km and miles. Now this box is an example of what you would be given in a quiz, midterm, Quizlet, or final. You don't have to memorize any of these. You just have to know where to find them and how to use them. So there's always going to be equations, constants, and conversion factors that you don't have to memorize. And all the Quizlets and your Connect, and as well as the lecture quizzes and lab quizzes and the midterm and final, will be open notes and open books. So you should be able to quickly find any information you need, and that's why I've provided that Chem 9 cheat sheet and some others that will come along, and as well as this worksheet for those equations, constants, and conversion factors. You don't have to be flipping through the book. Okay, so first we want to find this conversion factor that has both kilometers and miles. So I see a bunch up here: gallons, liters, pounds, and grams, but this one looks like the best option. 1 mile equals 1.609 km. So we want to use this equivalence to solve this 5 km by putting this into a fraction. So we got to decide what's going to go in the bottom of this fraction. I'm going to put this 1.609 km in the bottom. That's that side of the conversion factor, and on the top is the other side of the conversion factor. So you can see that I did that because I'm choosing, whoops, don't do that. Go back to blue. I'm choosing to put kilometers on the bottom so that I can cancel those kilometers out. So numerator, denominator will cancel out. And in this fraction, what remains is this unit, the miles. So that means I'm going to confirm that those are the units I'm trying to solve for. Yes. So that means I can write an equal sign and miles out here. When the units check out, that's when you can go to the calculator. So this is going to be 5 times 1 divided by 1.609. 5 divided by 1.609, and this is going to be the number from the calculator: 3.107520199 miles. I want to write the whole number out, and what I've done is I've canceled those units, and the unit for the final value should be what you're trying to solve for. Check that first, and I always check those units before calculating. Okay, it's important to check the units first, because if you just go straight to the calculator, what's the point if the units aren't correct? And that was the whole goal, was to convert to these units. You also want to make sure the answer makes sense. If you get a giant number with too big or too small, that is not going to be a reasonable number value. Okay, so you want correct units and a reasonable number value. So let's take a look at this next one. Is 35 centimeters converted to inches. So we can find a conversion factor from above. What we've used before is this 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So you want to write the equality, write the conversion factor, and then we're going to use this to convert this number 35 cm So you want to write the number with the units. Oftentimes I see people just write the number without these units, and you can figure out what's going to happen if you don't have those units. You won't know what to put in this fraction if you don't have these units cm. Okay, so what should go in this fraction? On the bottom, it looks like I'm going to put 2.54 cm, and then 1 inch on the top. That's what it's equal to, and that's because my goal is to be able to cancel out centimeters and centimeters, which has to be numerator, denominator. So this in the fraction, the cm is on the bottom, which leaves inches. And that's good because that's what I'm trying to solve for. So I'm trying to get to inches. So that means I can write an equal sign, leave some space for the number value, and write the units. I'm trying to get to inches. Once the units check out, then you can go to the calculator. So this is going to be 35 times 1 divided by 2.54. So this is 13.77952756. Okay, so next problem reads, a 10 km road race is how many miles? So this is the given number, and units are kilometers, and they're asking us to convert to miles. Okay, so we did one like this earlier using this same conversion factor, which has kilometers and miles, was 1 mile equals 1.609 kilometers. So I'm going to use this to convert 10 km, have a fraction. On the bottom of the fraction, I'm going to choose 1.609 km, and on the top of it is what it's equal to, 1 mile. So that was the goal, is to cancel km, numerator here, denominator there. So that'll be canceled, and the units that remain are miles, mi. So this is the units we're trying to solve for. So you have an equal sign, leave some empty space for the number, and you have miles. Once the units check out, you can go to the calculator. What you're going to put into the calculator is 10 times 1 divided by 1.609, or just 10 divided by 1.609. So that number from the calculator is 6.21504039.8. Okay, let's look at number 3. So number 3, a volume of 25 HL is how many quarts? So we have the number that you are given is 25 HL, and the units are HL. The units you're trying to get to are quarts or QT. Okay, so we are trying to convert from HL to QT. So we go back up here to the conversion factors and look for one with HL and QT. So what do I see? I see that there's miles to kilometers, there's gallons to liters, that's an L, but there's no QT. Here's pounds to grams, inches to centimeters. Here's one that has QT and liters. So 1 quart equals 0.946 liters. I don't see any other options, and I'm going to write this one down because this looks like a good candidate. So that's 1 quart equals 0.946 liters. So what does that mean? We're not going to stop here. What that means is we can use this to convert from quarts to liters, or from liters back to quarts. Okay, and that gets us part the way there. The problem is this H. Okay, so it's not just an L, it's an HL. And hopefully you remember that H is the metric prefix for hecto, 10 squared. So we want to make this an HL, and we can do this by setting up the conversion factor ourselves. So this is going to be HL multiplying L on both sides. HL equals 10 squared L. Put a 1 in the front, and this is a second conversion factor, where this will allow us to convert from HL, hectoliters, to L, liters, or from liters to hectoliters. Okay, so we have two conversion factors, this H, hectoliters to liters, and then we have this conversion factor, liters to quarts. So we're going to use both of those. But you had to recognize the conversion factor the conversion factor needed for the metric prefix. So metric prefix conversion factors are not provided. Those you can set up on your own. So let's convert this number 25HL. And since I have two conversion factors, I'm going to make space for two conversion factors. That means 2 parentheses, 2 fractions. What's going on the bottom of the first is to cancel out HL, I'm going to use this 1 HL. On the top of this fraction is the other side of the equality, 10 squared liters. On the bottom of the second is this 0.946 liters. Okay. Actually, let's cancel that out before I go on. So hectoliters and hectoliters will cancel out. What's left is this liters on top. So that means I'm going to need to put something on this second conversion factor that has liters in it. So this option, I already used this. This is 0.940, 0.946 liters on the bottom. And that means this 1 quart on the other side of the equal sign has to go on top. So I've got now liters and liters will cancel out. The units that remain are quarts. That's good because that's what I was trying to solve for. I was trying to get to quarts. So once the units check out, you can write an equal sign, leave space for the number, and then you have the units you're going to, QT, quarts. Once the units check out, you can go to the calculator. Only after the units check out. So this is going to be 25 times 10 squared times 1 divided by 1 divided by 9.946. So one thing I can actually do in addition to putting quarts out there is I can take this 10 squared and move it out here, and it will be multiplied by the number ahead of it. This will automatically generate the scientific notation, or have the number in scientific notation, and I could keep it in scientific notation or convert it to standard notation. So this means all I have to do is I've got, let me show you what I'm going to calculate, is I have this 25. This is gone, so that's out there. 25 times 1 divided by 1, and then divided by 0.946, or in short, just 25 divided by 0.946. Put that into the calculator, and I've got 26.42706,131, and that's times 10 squared quarts. Okay, so you have that whole long number and you want to keep that whole long number.